So a Bronsexual says that a team that LeBron James played on that won 75% of their games were horrible. Cole Sports presents on the Daily. Well, how are you doing, VIP? Cole Johnson's on the mic on the Daily Zone tab presented by Cole Sports. It's Wednesday. It's LeBron James Wednesday. No, it's actually this type of Wednesday.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronsexual Confessions.
So, you know how I start off most of these, I guess you could say, tales of regalia. So I had a conversation with a Bronsexual. And the conversation began like this. There was a comment that was attributed to Doc Rivers. And the comment was, I'm going to paraphrase this. Quote, "We allowed Michael Jordan to grow into his greatness. We didn't allow LeBron to grow into his." Close quote. Now, VIP, if you're unaware who Doc Rivers is, he is the former coach of the Magic, former coach of the Celtics, now former coach of the Clippers. He now is the current coach of the Trust the Process bunch in Philly with the 76ers. One championship to his credit, that's 2008, one other finals appearance, but he is known even more for losing not one, not two, but three 3-1 series leads in the playoffs. Enough about Glenn. Let's go to the conversation in general. So I heard that and saw that, and I responded by saying, so the 2004 to the 2011 seasons don't count? You mean that those were figments of our imagination? They didn't happen? You mean this guy who came into the league 18 years old, he basically stayed 18 when he won the NBA championship 8 Junes later? You mean he didn't grow at all and he wasn't allowed to grow? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he did. You know, and that was the sentiment that I had. To that, I received a comment from a Bronsexual. And the comment read, quote, "LeBron James played on crappy teams." Close quote. He didn't use the word crappy. He used a saltier word. I would say that word, but the Lord has possession of my tongue, and I just don't utter those words any longer. So I had to challenge this guy in terms of his intellect. And I said, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me this guy who wasn't allowed to grow and he played on horrible teams? I'm not dealing with the 2007 squad because, yes, I've said this on other videos where LeBron James took his team, the Cavaliers at the time, to the World Championship Series / finals with basically nothing but himself, his talent, and bubblegum. I'm not talking about that team. I'm talking about the 2011 team when he was part of the Heatles, won 58 games, had 2 other guys who would be in the Hall of Fame, more than likely both of them will be, and went to the finals. I will talk about 2011 at a different time and a bigger platform soon. Let's go to 2010 when he was still a member of the Cavaliers, where he won 61 games and his team was the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, got bounced in the Eastern Conference semifinals to the Celtics. Let's go to 2009, where he won 66 games, was not just the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. That team, the Cavaliers, was the number one overall seed in the NBA, and they did not get to the finals because the Orlando Magic decided to beat them down. And I guess the rest of the team that LeBron James played on decided not to show up. They beat them 4-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. So you mean that which followed the epic Game 7 Eastern Conference semifinal showdown that LeBron James had with Paul Pierce of the Celtics, that LeBron went for 45, Pierce I think went with 41. The Cavs came up just a wee bit short, which made us salivate for more because we were seeing a talent go through the process and paces of growing as a champion, because he took his lumps the year before and he's taking his lumps here, and he's doing it the way that we've seen other greats do it and build to that championship glory. You mean to tell me that all of that I just said wasn't allowing him to grow into his greatness? The Bronsexual said, quote, LeBron wasn't on great teams, even with the 66, 61, and 58 win teams, because LeBron carried the whole team. Close quote. Quote, LeBron played on horrible teams because he carried all of them to wherever they had to go. Close quote. Oh Lord. Oh no. Oh Lord.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. The host needs to collect himself for a moment or two. Please stand by. The host simply can't believe how people can be such dolts and idiots. Please stand by. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming, already in progress.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, 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 Lord. Oh, mm, mm. Whew. Oh, my goodness. The stupidity is so bad, I had to cry laughing. That was how bad that was. So the logic is, if a team even wins 58 games, 61 games, or 66 games, the team is bad because it's only one guy that's dragging the rest of the team. And basically, because of that, the team is horrible. Am I understanding this correctly? So the 58 win team, that was the Heatles in 2011, they were horrible. The 61 team in 2010, that team was horrible. The 66 win team in 2009, that team also was horrible. No, it's the thinking that you have, Bronsexual. That is horrible. I don't believe that logic just seems to escape these Bronsexuals. I don't get it. I don't get it. A 58, 61, and 66 win team in an 82 game schedule. They're horrible.
You for real?
I can't believe I heard this. I can't believe this was a conversation I actually had. I really can't. And it's all to validate the fact that this guy is the greatest player of all time in their minds. All of that is to basically say, well, LeBron is greater than Jordan.
Of course.
All of it leads to that, right? Hence, why would Glenn actually say that, well, we allowed Michael to grow in his greatness, but we didn't allow LeBron to do the same?
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
Yeah, you're right, Inspector Todd. This whole thing does stink to high heaven. Simply because the NBA allowed LeBron to grow into his greatness too. Just because in the first 8 years he went 0 for the finals in 2 attempts, one which was understandable, the other was inexcusable, does not mean that LeBron didn't grow into his greatness, because 2012, his 9th year in the league, he won a championship. Oh, what was the year I said? 9th. So that means he grew into his greatness. However it was going to be, he grew into his greatness, and he was allowed to grow into his greatness because I did not see any team, any organization, or any suit ban him from playing basketball. Think, Bronsexual. Think. Use this noodle. A 58, 61, and a 66 win team in a given year is not horrible. Let me give you 2 examples of 58 win teams that had the similar situation LeBron did, but they actually got the job done. The first is Hakeem Olajuwon. 58 wins. He averaged 28 points that year. You know who's the next highest total? Otis Thorpe with 13. Then the next highest total was 9. So he did it almost virtually by himself. 58 wins. They won the title in 1994. No complaints. No, the team was horrible. No, the team was good when it had to be, and Olajuwon was stellar and spectacular when he had to be. Oh, and then the other team that you know very well, 2011 Mavericks, the one that was led by Dirk Nowitzki. Yeah, it was him, and it was virtually nobody else, because it was a group of talent that pooled alongside with him to lift him up to a championship. But what makes it even worse is that LeBron James, the greatest player in that time, got outplayed by a 6th man. Do better, Bronsexuals. Please do better. I implore you to do better.
In a world where contradiction and hypocrisy exist, lies the truth to set us all free. Here is where we all get enlightened. This has been yet another installment of the Bronsexual Confessions.
Now, if you like the shirt that I am wearing and that you see, the description box below has all the details as to where you can find it. And if you agree with me that it's ridiculous that in an 82 game schedule that a 58, 61, and 66 win team is horrible, that you find that to be ridiculous, or you actually agree with this Bronsexual, like this video. Comment below because I want to hear what you have to say, because I might be looking at this the wrong way, or I might be looking at this the right way. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and subscribe to this channel for any and all premieres that come from it. I'm Cole Johnson. Thank you so much again, VIP. I love you. Keep the comments coming. Keep the love coming, because I'm going to keep these videos coming because I love you. For all of us here at Cole Sports, this has been yet another installment of Cole Sports on the visual and on the daily.